Hey, you guys. It's another episode of Pieces Perspective. All right, with that said, man, people are getting so freaking angry. There is so much division going on in the world right now, whether it's political beliefs, religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, lies. Even in the spiritual community, I'm seeing it. It's like astrologers have this narrative of like pushing, you have to be completely unbiased in this field. And in order to be there for the others to help guide them, you have to take your own personal beliefs out of what we're doing, right? Like, yeah, it's irritating, it's frustrating, but it's also the way things are supposed to be. And in the meantime, everybody is so reactive. With Mars that has been sitting at that 17-degree mark in Cancer, this is like everybody's emotions on overload, and people are flipping out. Now we have Mercury, the planet of communication, in the house where Mars is rules in Aries, and people are just getting blatant and mean and cruel and vicious and reactive. And take a fucking break. Pull back. Nobody needs that kind of energy in their life. Nobody needs to hear other people lashing out. Nobody needs to hear you screaming and yelling at them, or vice versa. You just kind of have to control, alt, delete yourself right out of those situations and try not to be one of them. You know, this whole political thing, everybody's, got TDS, and now they hate Elon Musk, and, and everybody's going off on their belief. And that's the South Node in Virgo. And Virgo is all about criticism, okay? It's criticizing everything. And if you look, you can't even put a nice post on social media without somebody coming in and saying something just snide or rude or projecting their bullshit onto you. Like, the South Node is there, which means that's not where we're supposed to go. The South Node says we've already done all that in a past life. We need to go towards the North Node, which happens to be in Pisces, and it's letting go through the art of spirituality. It's dissolving. It dissolves matters. It dissolves people. This is where the house where people dissolve into the ethers. So this is like political agreements are dissolving. Why? Because Saturn and Neptune are there. Like, everything is as it should be. And if you're having a rough time with this energy, you're having a rough time with letting go, you're having a rough time with just surrendering, oh, you guys are going to hate the next few years. Oh my God. Now, South Node in Virgo is going to be there for 18 months. We're just now, in the next couple of days, going to have that eclipse in Virgo. And when that happens, oh my God. Can you imagine? Not only that, please remember that Virgo is also the house of health and employment. It's also the house of enemies. So what does that say for you? All this stress, all this screaming, all this projection, all this taking on other people's garbage, it's going to affect your physical body. Okay? By not letting go, you're giving yourself a freaking heart attack. Even if you don't realize that you're doing it right now, you are literally projecting into the universe, hey man, I need a stroke. I need a heart attack. I need cancer because this is going to eat me from the inside out. Like, the Pisces Virgo axis is not a joke, man. These are two axes you don't want to fuck around with. And trust me, I have this in my natal chart, but mine's backwards. North Node Virgo, South Node Pisces. But I'm going through my nodal return backwards right now. So we have to learn to take a step back and not get so triggered by everything that's going on in the collective right now. Because you're going to be sadly mistaken. All the people who are, I stand with Ukraine. No, you stand with treason. If it's so easy for people to say, I stand with something behind a keyboard. And I'm not going to be popular for that, but I'm not here to be popular. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. What you're saying is you're okay with babies being mutilated. You're okay with constant bloodshed. You're okay with slavery because these immigrants who are coming in, they're being used as slaves. That's the God's honest truth. And I'm not going to be very popular, and I don't care. And again, this is my perspective. This is what I'm seeing that's going on. It's history repeating itself. You do realize that over in Ukraine, they're pulling people right off the streets. People are so afraid to go to work because they're afraid of somebody, the military coming in and snatching them up from their work. They're in hiding. And their president is okay with slaughtering them. So if you're okay with all of that, please feel free. Send your sons, send your daughters. And if you're in that age bracket, you go ahead and go fight that war. But what you have to understand is that's all embezzlement. And that's Uranus and Taurus. And these are all the lies and everything that is being exposed right now because it's got to dissolve. Everybody flipping out about the new digital system. We're going into it regardless. We're going through mass changes as a collective, and we got people on both sides of the aisle. People that are just, ready for change because we've had enough with the lies, the deception, vaccinating fucking people against their own will. Being threatened that if you don't, that you will lose your job, you will lose everything. If you don't do this with your child, then we're going to take them away. Are you really okay with that? Because I know for a lot of us, we're not. Now, lies are getting exposed. Corruption is going to get exposed. And first, it's going to tick you off. It's going to make you mad because the illusion of the way you thought the world really was, that veil is being pulled back and people are seeing it and they're not wanting to believe it. They're freaking out. And then there's the other side who wants to prove their point. Well, I knew this all along and, all you fuckers who are not awake. Well, not everybody wakes up at the same time. So we've got to have, compassion for people. Like, I didn't wake up until 10 years ago. I'm 45. I woke up at the age of 35 and I was forced into the awakening. And it was scary. It was like, oh my God, you mean, oh shit. I'm glad that I went through it 10 years ago and not now. Because ready or not, here it is. And there's no getting away from it. And everybody out there with their ego and everybody, I knew fucking da. You're not helping people. You're degrading them. Okay, yeah, you knew. You knew, but they didn't. And now they're waking up to it and people are going to come into this kicking and screaming. But it really doesn't matter. You can kick and scream and criticize and, I hate Trump and I hate Elon and I hate Biden and I hate Kamala or whatever the fuck she calls herself. Doesn't fucking matter. They're all pawns in the game. And if you go back in history, that's what astrology represents, is history. History and the evolution. We're in the exact same planetary alignment as we were when Lincoln was to become president. Everybody said Lincoln was going to do this, and this. They made fun of his looks. Does that sound familiar? They said, he's all about slaves. He was trying to free slaves. The Democrats didn't want to free the slaves. Just like the Democrats now, well, who's going to pick our fields? Oh, shucky darn, you actually have to pay people a living fucking wage. They don't want that. Why? Because it's greed. And all these greedy motherfuckers are getting exposed. And instead of getting mad at the people who are being greedy, you're getting mad at the people who are exposing them. What a twisted fucking world we live in. Where right is wrong and wrong is right. Mutilating children is okay. Having men beat up women in their sports, that's okay as long as they identify, and we should be. And now putting women in or men in beauty pageants, and if they don't win, they're gonna sue, and then it's discrimination. Like, where are we in society that this shit is okay? Where is your fucking moral compass? I'm just so blown away, and it's sickening. And honest to God, if I didn't have a freaking business, I wouldn't even be on social media. You know why? Because so many people are so fucking disgusting. Like, we need to go back to the way it was before social media, because people are literally off their fucking hinges right now because they've got a keyboard, but I dare you to say half that shit to another person's face. Like, we need to sometimes just scroll by things that we don't agree with, unless you have an actual, something to say that can raise awareness to a situation. You know why it's so hard for people to speak out nowadays? It's for fear of being judged and fear of being attacked. Do you know that the majority of the people who come onto social media to attack you, they're fucking bots? They're people who are behind the screen who are being paid to come in and create drama. Delete and block. Like, we have gotten to such a horrible space, and there's no forgiveness anymore. Families are breaking up over political views, religious views, vaccination views. Who gives you the right? That's exactly what Pisces energy is. It's the division. Oh, you don't believe my way, so you've got to be my enemy. I've been, very fortunate to where I don't really have a lot of people on my pages anyway that disagree with me. And that has a lot to do with, like I said, delete, block. I'm not here to argue with you. And obviously you don't recognize that this is my job. And yeah, if I'm wrong, I will totally eat crow, but I'm a Virgo in my chart. I make sure that everything that I say or I write is very purposeful. And I can only control what comes out of my mouth. I cannot control what people hear. And people can only view what they see based off of the emotion that they are in, the vibration that they are in. And there are so many people in denial. We need to get back to forgiveness. We need to get back to those, all of you who disowned your family for saying not to get the vaccine, or you disowned friends because they tried to save you because you're not collateral damage to them. You owe them a fucking apology. And 9 times out of 10, the reason why people are still in separation is because the person who actually owes somebody an apology, they don't have the balls to do it, because then they would have to actually say they're wrong. Would you rather be happy? Because I know for a lot of you, you are yearning to go back into the relationships with the people who actually you turned your back on. Because you were wrong. All the conspiracy theories, they've all come true. They're not conspiracies anymore. There's legit documentation now to back all of them. So I don't know what it is that, everybody feels like they need to have an opinion in somebody else's life. Like, do what you do. But my thing is, stop fucking with the children. Leave our kids alone. For all of you parents who are okay with the mutilation of children, you need to get your fucking head checked. Oh, well, they were put in the wrong body. Do you really think that God got it wrong? No, what they're being taught is to hate themselves. That they need to change something about themselves. Instead of recognizing that they were perfect just the way that they were. And what's not being talked about is the buyer's remorse. And you got a lot of fucking adults that will literally die on a hill to protect it because it's much better and much easier than them actually recognizing that they made a fucking mistake. You made a fucking mistake. And your child is going to have to pay the price. And you know why I say that? You know how? Because when I do charts, I can look at a person's chart and I can see whether or not this individual is supposed to be a parent. Depending on the planets that are in that fifth house rules children. But then all of a sudden, you motherfuckers come in. And you tell this kid, yeah, you're right. You know, you're not a girl. You're a boy. You know, here's some puberty blockers and we're going to make you a boy now. They don't even have a fucking fighting chance. Their brains aren't even fully functionable. You're okay with that. But like I said, most people will die on a hill that admit they were wrong and admit that they made a mistake. And then you got these kids who grow up and they finally meet the love of their life, the person that they're supposed to settle down with. And guess what? Now they can't have babies. Why is that? You think that they're not going to blame you later on in life? You think that they're not going to despise you because you were supposed to protect them? You're not thinking about the long term. Most people are thinking about the short term. I remember dressing like a boy. I remember wearing preferred stock, baggy jeans, and a white t-shirt. I played with the boys. Most of the boys were all my friends. I got along better with the guys. Never one time did my parents come to me and tell me, well, you're a boy. You know, God got it wrong. And I grew out of that phase. And had I lived in the days that we are in now, with the puberty blockers and everybody pushing that they can change their gender, just because you pretend you're something doesn't mean the rest of the world is going to pretend, and it doesn't make you who you are. And for those of you who are into science, science backs that up, not just the astrology. We all need to take a step back and really look at our moral compass. And I'll be honest with you. There's only like 5% of the freaking world that truly believes in all of this other bullshit. And that's what they're trying to push, that more people believe it. No, they just advertise it more because it triggers people and it gets people in arguments. It's media. They need ratings. They get paid when you guys fight and back and forth and bicker and bitch. I tell people all the time when they, say something shitty on one of my pages, you know what I say? Thank you for helping my channel get boosted into the algorithm. Because whether it's a positive comment or a negative comment, you're still boosting my image. I don't need to fight back and forth with you. I don't need to, get my point across. If you can't see it, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat. Hopefully one day you're going to remember that this perfect stranger triggered you and it pissed you off. And maybe one day this individual will wake up and say, damn, come back and say, hey, I was kind of an asshole, but now I see things for how they are. And you're right. But most people, again, they won't do that. They won't do that. Why? Because they're ego. That's what Aries represents, is the ego. And now we have Venus and Mercury in Aries. Mercury stationing to go retrograde. Everybody's ego. Everybody's ready for a fucking war. Well, it's coming. There's a war coming, and it's going to be bigger than you could ever fucking imagine. You have no clue. If you think that by you posting pictures of Ukraine on social media, oh, we stand with Ukraine. It's not gonna end. We have Neptune this month moving into Aries. Saturn will be following it up. Plus, we have Mercury and Venus also. Ha! By you being a keyboard warrior on fucking social media, get a job. Go hang out with your kids. Go out into nature. Unless you're posting for your business and it's actually your business to do so, find something productive to do. Pisces is also creativity. Why aren't you delving into painting or music or poetry or spirituality, meditation? Go take a fucking bath. those are the productive ways of using this energy to focus on you, self. Because no matter how much you bitch and complain and fight with fucking strangers on the internet, it really doesn't matter. Because if people can't wake up and they haven't woken up by now, they're not going to. Maybe later, and let's have hope that they do. But not right now. People are all up in their fields with Mars in Cancer, sitting at that 17-degree mark for like the last few weeks. Holy shit. And we have all this Pisces water moon energy. Oh my God. Water, everybody's emotional, everybody. Like, go take a bath. Take a salt bath. Go get into the ocean if you can. But seriously, go do something productive with your time. Spending time with your children. Not talking to them about their fucking gender. Do research on matters that mean the most, especially our food industry right now. Delve into that. Too many keyboard warriors, too many fights and arguments. I am so glad that I went off grid because I can shut it all down. And out there, it's too people-y. Too fucking people-y. Everybody's mad, everybody's angry, everybody driving with aggression. There's going to be a lot of car accidents too. There's going to be a lot of car accidents. And if you get into that car angry or raging, or even when you just got off fucking line or fighting and arguing with some stranger on the internet and you get into your car and you're all pissy, watch what happens. And be careful what you say. Be careful what you say because words are spells. So when you're typing something out to another individual, whatever you put out there, you better be expecting back tenfold. So you better make sure that you're not being a complete asshole. So I'm going to leave that there, you guys. This is Pisces perspective. You don't have to agree. That's the best part of life. And we're all volunteers here. And at any point in time, we can volunteer our asses right on out of here. Anyway, love you guys all so much. Hopefully I'm able to get to a few of you. And, if this resonates, please, let's discuss in the comment box. Like, how is this energy affecting you? What are you seeing? And another thing, be careful of fucking scammers. There's so many different scams. And a lot of you who think you're talking to a fucking celebrity, you're not. They don't want anything but your money. And that is a scammer. All right. And you probably don't owe for any unpaid tolls either. I just wanted to throw that in there. So keep an eye out. Keep your head on a swivel. But don't take everything so fucking personally. It's not even worth it, honestly. Anyway, love you guys all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information's in the description box down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel grow. Comment. Let me know how this reading resonates with you. I love you all so much. Take care, and we'll chat again soon.